You need to ask your husband if he is going to be in the delivery room with you when you give birth.
What are the living arrangements that are going to happen after we get married?
Have you ever been married? Most people don't tell you to ask this question, but believe it or not, a lot of people are not going to reveal to you until you actually ask.
Like how many kids you want and so on. A topic I would definitely ask a lot of questions about are family dynamics, because family shapes a person more than you think. The questions could...
So these are questions that will help you find out if there are any deal breakers. They're not superficial questions like what's your favorite movie, what's your favorite color, etc. So the question you need to ask, and by the way, this is not in any order of importance, just ask it when it seems natural to ask it, is what are the living arrangements that are going to happen after we get married? Are you planning to live separately in your own house with your wife, or are you planning to live with your parents or with the in-laws until an indefinite amount of time? Are there any family members that need to live with us after we get married? Are we going to be moving countries for your work or for anything else? Asking these type of questions will let you have an idea about what kind of living arrangements will be expected of you after you get married. And it's even more important for a woman to ask these questions and to be firm on knowing what she wants. Because so often women are expected to just follow whatever the husband wants or whatever the family of the husband wants, and they never ask what she wants. Marriage is literally supposed to be a relationship between two people, the husband and the wife. But if there are other people living with you, especially in the first few years of that marriage, then it ends up being a relationship of three people, maybe the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, or the brother, the sister, and it can get complicated. Also, you need to understand that there's going to be a lack of privacy, a lack of autonomy, a lack of so many expectations and rulings that you have to follow if you are living with other people. And at the same time, if you're planning to live with your husband in a separate house, then you need to understand that, can you afford it? There's going to be financial obligations, and you need to maintain the house by yourself, which is not that bad, I think. You as the couple are going to be doing the cooking, the cleaning, the gardening, etc., etc., and you won't have other family members to help you out, etc., etc. So many etc., etc. Too much to say, too much to say. Follow me for the next part in this series. And by the way, I have a bit of a story time around this, so let me know if you want to know about that story. Guys, the life of Ukhti is very, very interesting.
To all my Muslim girls who are looking to get married soon, you need to ask your husband this very important question before you get married. You need to ask your husband if he is going to be in the delivery room with you when you give birth. Never did I think that this is a question that you should ask, because I just took it for granted that yes, the husband should be in the delivery room, but apparently not for everybody. Once we were talking to a friend of my husband, and he saw Zayn with us, so he's like, oh, mashallah, how old? And we told him that he was 7 months at the time, and then he's like, oh, I'm expecting any day now, my wife is pregnant. We're like, oh, congratulations, mashallah, what is it, boy or girl? He's like, it's a girl. Like, alhamdulillah, that's amazing. I asked him, did you pick out names yet for the girl? He said that his wife picked a name and he picked a name, and then she's going to have the ultimate decision when she gives birth. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's very nice. Well, after you see her suffering and going through the labor and delivery process, trust me, you're not going to care about what name she picks, because, it takes a toll on the woman. And after seeing that and your wife go through that, you're not going to care about the name. You're just going to let her choose whatever she wants to. This man with a straight face answered, me in the delivery room? Of course not. I'm going to be outside smoking. Sorry, what? It took every bit of energy in me to stay calm and collected. And I know that he got an arranged marriage from back home, so his wife does not have family here. So I told him, but your wife doesn't have family here, so who's going to be with her in the delivery room? And he says his mom and his sisters are here, so she'll be fine. I genuinely don't know if his reason was because he's scared of blood, or he doesn't want to see his wife suffer, but that was not the answer that I got, or the impression that I got out of him. But I feel like if you are unable to hold your wife's hand in her toughest, most difficult moment and painful moment in her life, then you have zero empathy and you don't deserve to be a husband. you should not have kids and you do not deserve to be a husband, because this is when your wife needs you the most. And if you cannot be there for her, then you, in my books, you're not a good husband. But it brought to my attention that Muslim girls need to be asking this question to their future husbands. Will you be willing to be in the delivery room with me or not? And based on that, you can decide if he's going to be a good husband to you or not.
The 10 top questions before marriage that'll reveal to you about a person more than you think. Are you married, or have you ever been married? Most people don't tell you to ask this question, but believe it or not, a lot of people are not going to reveal to you until you actually ask. Number 2 is, what are your deal breakers? What's the most you'd be willing to pay for a pair of shoes? It gives you an indication of what they view as being expensive versus what they view as being cheap. What's your viewpoint on gender roles? Do you think the relationship should be 50-50? Do you think the man should be the main provider and the woman should stay home? If so, can a woman work if she still wants to? Are there any health complications that you think would be good for me to know about? How do you see your living arrangements with your future spouse? Are you open to buying a house or just renting? And is there an expectation to live close to family, or an expectation to even live with family? Do you think you're ready for marriage? And if so, what's your timeline? After marriage, how important would you say intimacy is for you? Do you want any kids? And if so, how many? If we're not able to conceive that many kids for whatever reason, what would you say would be the next steps? And trust me, this question is going to reveal a lot to you about how that person views things not working out in their favor in the world. What do you work? And where do you see yourself in 5 years career-wise?
A lot of girls asked me in my DMs if I could share some questions to ask before marriage. And I wanted to share some questions that go beyond the basic ones, like how many kids you want and so on. A topic I would definitely ask a lot of questions about are family dynamics, because family shapes a person more than you think. The questions could look like, how did your family handle conflict, and how do you wish to handle conflicts in your marriage or the future family you want to build with me? How important is family to you? Another topic I would also focus on are finances. And listen, girls, there shouldn't be a topic that you're too afraid to talk about, because this is the decision of choosing your spouse, and this decision will have such a huge impact on your life. And if this isn't the time to talk about the heavy topics, what time then? You could ask him questions like, how much debt do you have? Do you expect your wife to contribute or pay bills? Do you see it as my money, your money, or our money? Do you prefer joint accounts or separate ones? Do you have other financial responsibilities like helping out your family? And listen, girls, this is such an important question to ask, because I have seen so many families and couples split because of this specific topic. That's why it's super important to talk about it beforehand and come to a mutual agreement. Otherwise, it will create so much conflict in your marriage. Let me know if you girls want to have a part 2, and if you guys have any other questions to add to the list, please share them in the comments.
Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Kindly join the conversation down below in the comment section and participate. Let me know what you think about this topic, and what are some of the things you would ask a guy before you get married to him. And while you're doing that, commenting, don't forget to subscribe, like and comment on this video, and please kindly share it if someone out there needs it. And yeah, I still want to thank you guys for everything you do on my channel. Those of you that like, those of you that share, those of you that subscribe, and those of you that comment. I don't take any of that lightly. I truly appreciate it, and I thank you so much for 1K subscribers. We are growing strong, and I want my community, which is our community, to grow even stronger. I love you. God bless. Till my next video. Bye.